Hey guys, welcome back for part 3 of the playthrough. We are about to hunt 2 items. I even forgot, it has been I think a day and a half or something since I was in game. Let's go here and to the right. We have to retrieve the golden fish from the pond and we have to look for the unicorn in the clearing in the palace gardens. I did decide ultimately to dial back the extra graphical tweaks I had set in the config file. I increased the shadows further, the grass distance and the texture memory budget. But watching the part 2, the recording, I really wasn't that impressed with the frame rate. I know my old trusty 2500K and the GTX 1070 aren't top of the line anymore. So but I did expect it to be a bit more fluently. But to my book, it really looked like almost 30 frames per second in the video, in the resulting video. So I'm doing just everything to squeeze out an extra frame, and I don't think that those tweaks that I applied. I mean, if you have a lot of overhead or spare graphical power, you can of course do whatever you want, but I don't think it was worth the payoff, to be honest, because further grass and further shadows, that is really only visible when you are really are able to view far ahead. And for instance, now that we have like this vista here, I'm not really sure that I'm missing that much foliage, or that the shadow is that less pronounced without those tweaks. So I don't think really going just in-game, being in the action, that you really notice it that much. So it's more of a nice to have when you have the extra graphical capabilities, but it's not a deal breaker. So I dialed it back. Everything is now simply set to ultra. Okay, let's get to that pond. But first let's do a quick meditation to replenish our potions and our health. And let's get back down there. Or let's get down there. It's not back down there because we weren't there yet.
Of the 1290 vintage. I do encourage you to try it. You'd like a taste, perhaps? Est, an old vintage.
All work and no play, right, Witcher?
You'd like a taste, perhaps? Est, an old vintage.
The elites hanging about, chilling out. Not for us witchers. We are all work and no play.
Stocks and the whip await those running riot. Our duchy values peace and quiet.
1 second, guys. I'm saving the game just in case, like happened before, that my recording somehow maybe didn't work fully and I have to do it over. Then it's good to have a save game.
It's there, just there. We made our acquaintance. An excellent one.
Alright, let's get to the pond. I'm just being a bit distracted. I just watched that fight between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor, so I was still thinking a bit about that. Alright, we have to get to the pond. Let's see what kind of house this is, what this is. It's like a flower house, or how do you call it? In Dutch it's maybe a serre. It's like a lot of glass to increase the heat and the sunlight for tropical flowers, but we cannot access it unfortunately. Alright, let's get some mushrooms. Long loop. Sounds a bit like. I don't know if it exists, but. And oh, wrong button. A bit of moss. And I think we have to get to the boat over there. By the way, those new
Should be easy to spot once I'm under.
CPUs, they're all fishing or just chilling out. But those new CPUs I'm waiting for to finally get my new PC built and be able to do more higher quality recordings and the resolution, HDR, ray tracing. Man, they really do take their time at Intel. I mean, it's now I'm almost counting the days. Like when will the CPUs, the 7097 and 9900K?
Someone just dive in the water? Perhaps that's the way to do it.
Sure, if you're a peasant.
Finally be released. Took so long. Alright. Why did I saw it briefly and then not anymore? What the hell are these? These are fish? Okay, a toffee. Nice. I did think I tested it in the previous episodes. Geralt can stay underwater like crazy long. That is pretty new. Let's check that out here. God damn it.
Hey, wait. Stop. It's important.
King Cormorant, sire, accept this offering we bring. Prithee cast upon us your merciful eye and bear before us its secrets.
As the moon is heavily coursed of trace, in my domain I await that moment of grace, when a soul of good or ill repute brings me a gift, fitting tribute.
A key.
Pretty funny.
Why, you bomb-botched wretch!
He's ruined the game!
Don't cry, dear. The Duchess will hear of this.
This is an outrage.
Just trying to interact with them. Whew. Alright, now we go to the for the unicorn. But those CPUs, they take forever, and I think the RTX cards finally are in stock. But yeah, there's not much use in buying such a big card still with my old 2500K CPU. That will be a big bottleneck.
Give this man some wine.
They are all chilling out over here. But of course there's some fiesta going on. Okay, I'm not really sure where that unicorn was. I guess going by where we were, which I think was over there, straight ahead a bit higher up. Then we had to watch to the right down below, so I guess it's somewhere over here. What does this say? Oh. The beast, look for the unicorn in the clearing in the palace gardens. So we have to go a bit more than 90 degrees turning. So that's indeed where I thought it was. It's in this direction. Man, they really stuffed this place full with details. Architecture, flora and fauna, NPCs. Pretty cool. Also that little sound of the peacock. Or maybe it was a cat, I don't know actually. Two lovers.
Why the impertinence?
Right, is this a clearing? Looks like a clearing. Hello, hello. Shall we? Oh, there's a wolf over there. I think it's best if we take some oil. What kind of weapon do I need for a wolf? A steel one? That's humans and non-humans. Monsters. Yeah, are wolves monsters? Oh, questions, questions. They're not humans. Oh, that's only the bonus thing. It doesn't say anything. God damn it. I think the regular swords should work. But I will check afterwards. Oh, that was what I forgot also to mention. I will mention it afterwards. Otherwise I will be too long in this menu. Let's put some beast oil on them, on the weapon. Hybrid, insectoid, dragonid, vampire, necrophage, beast oil, cursed oil, elemental oil, relic oil, spectre oil, upgrade oil. Let's go for the beast oil. Apply to a sword for additional effects, and then we can immediately see, because I guess wolves are beasts, to which weapon it is will be applied. Here we go. Yeah, I think I just need the steel swords. Alright, we have that equipped. Bombs, poison and freezing. I'd like a bit of fire, so let's take this one, and let's also take a shrapnel bomb, which had, oh, so annoying when my controller decides to stick to a certain direction. Here, this one, let's do a bit of shrapnel, why not? I think we're ready to go. Let's see what kind of potions we had. This is increases attack power. What the hell is the other then? Increases maximum vitality. Yeah, I'm going to go with the attack power. Over there. And this was stamina. And I actually like to switch those two out. So let's go here. And let's go... This is stamina. I find it more suitable to have stamina and vitality on the same the vertical line. Or maybe not. Maybe it's best. So this would be stamina. No, I think actually not. I think that... Where the hell are those? Oh, here? No, over there. This will be here. I'm gonna do vitality and food on the same line. Or the same vertical line. I will only need to press D-pad up or down for a sec. And that will do everything as regards to health. And if I hold D-pad up or down for a couple of seconds, or maybe 1 full second, then I will do stamina or attack power and stamina. So one is regarding health. The other one is regarding combat. So, like this. Then let's see if they are attacking. Not yet. Okay, so what I forgot to say is that, especially on Death March, which is the difficulty level I'm playing at, it really pays off to check out the in-game books on the different types of monsters and their weaknesses. Because in the previous episode I fought this monster in that amphitheater, like in that the big tournament or that fiesta that was going on, or feast, and it was that monster that curled up and armored itself up, and it was really hard to hit. And apparently in the end I did look it up in the book, and I thought, okay, I read it was susceptible to art and to I think some kind of oil. And so I was fighting it, and indeed art did made it a bit confused. So so you could get a couple of more hits in. But actually, if what I later noticed by coincidence, my eye fell on it. I will show. No, this is the wrong button. It's maybe this one. Yes. It was not the Goliath, it was the Shalmar. And here, I read this last sentence. Then pray silently that the beast will roll towards the sound and knock itself out upon striking into the obstacle. So, what I actually should have done is have the beast, when it attacks, it rolls like super fast. I had to lure it into a hard obstacle. In this case, like the wall of the amphitheater, like not using art in the direction of the creature itself, but using art on the wall, because. Now I will read it. Since Salmars are blind, they find their way by sensing vibrations and listening for sounds. Thus the best tactic when fighting such a monster is to hurl something heavy or noisy, art I would say, like that magical ability, against a nearby boulder or wall. Then pray silently that the beast will roll towards the sound and knock itself out upon striking into the obstacle. So I actually did know that it was vulnerable for Summon Bomb, Relic Oil and Art. but I didn't use it correctly. I should have used it on a wall and then it would have knocked itself out and I would have had way more opportunity to strike it when it was exposed instead of being all armored up, curled up. So this really is a testament that it really pays off, especially with bosses, to read what the how do you call this menu actually? The bestiary has to mention on them. The only thing is, of course, often the bestiary entry only appears after you have dealt with an enemy once. But in this case, I'm not really sure it did, because during the fight I could open this, and because during the fight I somehow read, or I did read, that it was susceptible to art. So the bestiary entry was already there before I killed it for the first time. Anyways, for the record, let's read it fully. Shalmars, the earth's innards are home to mighty, strange and fearsome beasts. Were they ever to decide to ramble up to the surface, we'd all be gutted the very first day of the invasion. Ramus, Venden, Rats, Mahakam Foreman. Shalmar spent most of their lives deep underground, having no contact with the world up above. At times, however, Shalmar will dig its way to the surface and devour any man within its reach. Some Shalmars also burrow tunnels close to the surface, collapsing buildings and causing tremors in the process. The last paragraph we just read. Let's also read the other Shalmar. Shalmar from the Emperor of Nilfgaard. Gladiator fights in massive arenas, that's the word I was looking for, not amphitheater, but arena, are a popular form of entertainment in Nilfgaard. Usually the fighters are slaves specially trained for this purpose, yet at times the arena masters pit humans against monsters. The Shalmar Geralt had to fight in the tourney grounds was a present from the Emperor to his relative Duchess Anna Henrietta. It has been caught while young and prepared for its ultimate purpose by Nilfgaardian trainers. That does not mean it was tame, however. In fact, its wildness and inborn ferocity had not been dulled one whit. Like all creatures of its species, it was blind but could unerringly pinpoint its opponent's location using echolocation. The Shalmar had thick armor and near impenetrable skin. It could also roll into a ball and charge its opponents. Its underbelly, however, was relatively vulnerable and became exposed when its charge failed. So when it, for instance, bumped into a wall or something. In the end, though the fight was long and difficult, Geralt defeated Shalmar, and when the Duchess called from the stands for him to finish the beast off, he refused to kill the creature, not wanting to take a life merely to amuse the crowd. Alright, cool. Let's also read the Scurvers, because we will encounter those more often. Thought it was just a pile of rotten meat till it started to move, Thibaut from Beauclair. Scurvers are rot fiends' larger cousins. The bodies of these hideous, vaguely humanoid creatures are covered with rotten scraps of flesh, under which lurk even more rotten muscles stretched out around a strong, flexible skeleton. Scurvers, which feed on old, rotten corpses, prefer to make their hunting rounds in abandoned torture sites, forgotten graveyards and old battlefields. They are very aggressive, and though they feed on corpses, if they come across a living person, they are likely to attack. Thus, when wandering near any of the above mentioned places, one must be especially cautious. Scurvers usually feed underground, but sometimes when they catch the scent of a human, they crawl to the surface in a matter of seconds and attack their potential prey. While fighting them, one cannot afford to forget about their special bony spines, razor-sharp protuberances sticking out from their skeletons. When a Scurver is near death, the gases and enzymes gathered within its body cause it to explode, flingering these spines out at great speed, turning them into one last deadly weapon in their arsenal. To protect oneself against damage from these spines, one should make prodigious use of the Quen sign. Alright, that was the tip. Quen for Scurvers. And the rest we will read later, because otherwise it might be a bit too much all at once. Moondust, oil, black blood, and Earden. Okay, that's for Bruxa. So reading the bestiary entries really does pay off. That's the tip of today. Let's get some wolves. I thought there were some wolves here. Maybe time moved on while I was reading for so long that the wolves moved on as well. I have my oil readied, my sword readied with oil. I have my Quen equipped for nothing, but I do hear them still. Ah, there's one. And I hear wolves. But they are actually pretty sturdy, I must say. Holy fuck! Haha! I did not expect that. I thought that mostly wolves were like pretty easy enemies. Let's try that again, but maybe a bit better prepared. Where are they? Should be somewhere around here. There they are. Right. I'm doing one of this, one of this, one of this, one of this. Ah, we do have like a nice bottleneck here. Maybe I have the wrong weapon equipped. Alright, one is down. But I'm still not too happy with it. Maybe they don't like fire. Nice. Always like those cool kills. Holy shit. Nice. I really like that. Ooh. So. Alright, I think that were them. That was, they were pretty, yeah, how do you say? Not as easy as you'd expect them to be. Ah, there's another one. It's actually chilling out, lying on his back. There are actually more even. Okay, I'm saving the game. Alright, wolf. Here, come on over here. So, you see, if you're not being bum rushed, they are pretty easy. Holy shit! What the hell are those? Spiders! I don't really care for spiders, to be honest. And not at all for really big spiders. Anyways, let's not get all the enemies tied all at once. Let's first read the bestiary for the wolves. Okay, they are susceptible to beast oil. Friend of mine used to say that with all these griffins and basilics and whatnot, good old-fashioned wolves were nothing to worry about. Then the damn beast devoured half his flock. Ingvar the shepherd. Once upon a time, wolves were the absolute rulers of the forest. Men used to frighten children, while adults too trembled at the sound of their howling. Post-conjunction monsters not only pushed wolves into the deepest wilds, but also took over their place in human nightmares. Yet, this does not mean the old predators cease to be a danger. Wolves do not have a drop of magic within them, breathe no fire and spit no acid, but that in no way stops them from killing unwary travelers and hunters. Particularly dangerous are wargs, a nasty and ferocious subspecies of wolves, and the snow-white wolves, which today can only be found in the wild highlands of Skellige Archipelago. Now, good thing we're not in Skellige. We did get... That went a bit wrong, sorry. I said... I pressed accidentally the stop record button instead of the save game button. It's the entry said that in Skellige there are some dangerous white wolves, and I said it's a good thing we're not in Skellige. We are at Toussaint. Okay, I'm actually a bit sadomasochistic, maybe. I am curious if I can take those on. So let's see what kind of monster. That's an insectoid, eh? So we have to apply insectoid oil, and we have to apply. We get the other sword out, of course. Okay, here we go. Insectoid. Where was it? This is what I find a bit annoying about this menu. It's just too much. You really are half the time you're searching for what you need. Skyrim's menu is yeah, it's also a lot, but still, it's really functional in my book. Oh, yeah, that's also what you what I did love Murphy's Law. It's I was searching all these, and apparently it's one all the way at the beginning, the enhanced insectoid oil. All right, we have that covered. Let's get out of here. I can also use my bombs, of course. Shrapnel damage. I think spiders might be, but that's just a guess, might be susceptible to fire, but I'm not sure. But let's see how far we get. What the hell? I need a bomb. Did that do anything? Did that do anything? No, not a lot. They're just chilling out over here. Holy shit! I had Quen. How the hell? Load most recent saves. How the hell could it one hit kill me? Stupid. Okay, annoying. Here we go again. No way. I thought I saved in between. Apparently I didn't. But screw those spiders. Insect oil. Yes. I will take some water. Let's see. Yes, that was water. I will take some vitality potion. And afterwards I could take some... What's this? Attack power and stamina. Actually prefer to have those two also reversed. So, god damn it. This is the stamina I'd like to have on top, and the attack power I'd like to have down below. And save the game. And the bomb that I had equipped didn't do anything, the shrapnel damage. So let's also equip, or at least it didn't seem to do a lot. Let's equip a different bomb. Blinds opponents, freezes foes, poison. Yeah, let's just poison them. Silver, transforming. No, they won't transform. Releases a cloud of gas that explodes. Then you'll have to shoot it, I guess, with a fire arrow or something. We'll not do that now. Magic abilities. I don't think they have magic abilities. So we have fire bombs and we have poison bombs. And let's see how far those get us. And what would probably be a good magical ability? Art? I have no idea. Quen, I think. Oh. Quen, of course. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Come on over here, bitches. Holy shit. Come on over here, bitches. Holy fuck. It really is a one-hit kill. It's not funny anymore. I will try one more time, and if I'm simply too under-leveled, I will let it slide. I will let them enjoy their summer night. But that's really not what we want. Where is the big one? Oh, it's all the way over there. That's actually a good thing. Holy shit. Let's get the hell out of here. That's a good thing. They don't really pursue. Then I can just as well shoot them. I of course don't have the... I don't have the crosshair enabled, so I really have to guess a bit. Yeah, it really doesn't work without a crosshair, to be honest. That's why. And it's such a slow weapon, it's almost annoyingly slow. Ah, it does work. You just have to get a bit of a feel for it. Where the arrow will land. Like. Alright, and let's take the firebomb out. Hello, hello. Here I'm coming. Oops. Mama Spider is angry. I don't care about Mama Spider. Holy fuck, or maybe I do. Mama Spider is staying back, which is a good thing. God damn it! Woo! Lucky me. That mama spider really is a bit annoying. Oh. That was more for the fireworks than anything. Alright, so that arrow, it goes a bit to the left of where I'm aiming. It's a really weird curve. So, like over there. No, this really is a waste of bolts. One more time, I will try. No. I think I am going to enable the crosshair for now, because it's otherwise it's a waste of not being able to use the crossbow. So we do HUD visibility on. The annoying thing is that this will also let other menus pop up, which I really don't care for. But it's also, there's also not, you see, it's not like where the arrow will hit. It's not a fixed distance from instance the ending of the crossbow. You see, if I shoot here, the crosshair is really close to the crossbow. But if I shoot over there, there's a really big distance between the crossbow and the crosshair. So it's really hard to get the feel without a crosshair on where the arrow will land. Oh. Let's see what the range is. Oh. God damn it. Not a really good range. And what I'm also a bit afraid about is that even if I kill those little ones... Oh, I'm shooting them with a blunt bolt. That's not really good, I guess. But I don't have that many bolts anymore. Oh, I have still 85. Wait. Broadhead. The bleeding effect. Let's just use the regular one. I lost my train of thoughts a bit, but what I wanted to say, I think, is that even if I get these spiders, that... God damn it! That even if I get all the little ones, it will still be quite hard, I think, to take the big one all by myself. Even only the big one all by itself will be quite a challenge, I guess. Of course, the good thing is I could maybe then save the game. God damn it! Even the small ones have like this one-hit kill. I think I will say screw these spiders. What the hell? I'm not that under-leveled, right? I think in the main game there were also spiders and I could take them on easily. Is everything leveled up that much? Let's see the bestiary, if there's anything on spiders. Nope. I will try one more time. The annoying spiders. Let's try a different tactic. Yes! Did you see how many hits it took? It's just crazy. What the hell's up with that? Ah! You see, Earden does damage them. But that's just stupid. Come on over here, bitches. Come on over here, bitch. Good work. Good work, Earden. But... maybe... Are these monsters or not? What... I have no idea what weapon to use. Shall I simply use... the steel sword? Yeah, probably. But they... Oh, that is so annoying. The questions. Are we already have a new entry on them? No. Okay. I will go with the fact that it's... No, it are insectoids, right? I already checked that. Or are it simply beasts? Are spiders insects or beasts? Man. This episode's already an hour long and I didn't do anything yet. We have hybrids, nope. This is humans, nope. Insectoids. Yeah, I have no idea. I do think it are insectoids. Right? I don't even remember what the definition of an insect is. Alright, do they have 8 legs or something? Or shall I will just also try for fun beast oil? Where the holy fuck is beast oil? Here. Then I will try that weapon. Because the amount of swings that I gave that small spider without him flinching was just a bit stupid in my book. Come on, bitches. Holy fuck. Yeah, he's pretty fast. What the hell? And where was my Earden? Didn't do anything. Here's my Earden. Alright, come on, bitches. Oh, there it's coming again. I just have a hard time giving up on these buggers. Maybe I could use Xe. Or what do I have more? I have Xe, I have Wind Blast, I have Art. I probably will have to use this one. Maybe that does something to spiders. Oh. Come on over here, bitches. Oh, wrong button. Again, one hit kill. Okay, I've had it with these freaking spiders. And it's not like I don't have any Quen up, but it's simply they simply disregard Quen. Okay, screw that shit. Let's search for the Unicorn. This looks like an opening. But is this the opening we're talking about? Because can we from here see where we stood? Because from where we stood, we could see the opening. I do think we can. I think we were standing over there somewhere, near the castle. And then Henrietta pointed somewhere in this direction. I must say I find it a bit stupid that they put like those spiders over there in the beginning of the game. Well, it's really not possible to take them out. Alright, this is indeed probably... I removed my graphical tweaks, my extra config tweaks, as mentioned earlier in the episode. And that is probably what it did do. What the hell is that? Some kind of flesh-eating plant or something. But the grass draw distance. Holy shit, those are those worms. Maybe suffers a bit. For instance, you can really look at that monster over there, and behind it there really is only really low detail grass. But you know what, I will just keep it. I was now doubting shouldn't I reapply that tweak. Let's see if it's a bit further, because I do find that a bit also over there, actually everywhere. I do find that a bit distracting. That high quality grass and then like a sudden low quality grass transition. I will just quickly see what it does if I reapply the tweak. 1 second. Holy, that made a hell of a difference. Check it out. All those areas further away now have fully detailed grass. Also behind that monster, which was earlier like super low quality grass. The only thing, of course, is that the frame rate does take a hit. I'm not really sure whether it's worth it, but I now doubled it. Maybe I should lower it down just a bit. But this is actually the most important tweak in my book. Like the shadows, they are pretty fine even on standard ultra, but this makes a world of difference as regards immersion. Like that you're really that you're a small part of a bigger world. I mean, that all those yellowish flowers in the distance, that whole area was super low res. It was like there was no grass at all, which is like distracting, unimmersive. But okay, I will just leave it on for now, but I do think the frame rate suffers a bit. If I see the episode back and it indeed seems to be too low res or a low frame rate, then I will dial the tweak back. Holy shit, wild boars. I will just leave them be. I will leave all the fighting be. I don't feel that's powerful yet. Powerful enough to take them all on. But when panning the camera, that is when in the recordings I find it a bit jerky or not fluid enough. could try maybe to dial it a bit back, the tweak. Or let's just see quickly what the frame rate does. I think it's around 50. Yeah, so it's not hitting 60, but yeah, 50, it's not that bad in my book for a game like this. And even with the tweak off, I think it was also around 50, 60. Of course it should eat some frames per second, but alright, just leave it, let's leave it on for now. Yeah, now it's 47, 45, that's really low. What to do? And will those boars attack me? Probably they will. Yeah. They seem a bit aggro. Yeah, shall I leave the tweak on? Is doubling the distance too much? It wasn't 1.5. I set it to 3. Maybe I could put it to 2.5. Like a big little optimal spot in between. Because the problem is, of course, there are a lot of sections where you don't have those far views. So you're not even able to see far ahead. And then having the game draw all that grass in the distance super far away that you cannot even see. If it does that at all, it could also just simply not draw what you can't see. I'm not sure there's a technique for that. I forgot the word. But that is also a waste of frames per second. Like having the game do a lot of graphical tasks that aren't visible anyways. So that's also always the balance you need to strike between performance and quality. But I do think this was a major bump in quality. No, but now you see there's low detail grass over there, which is a bit weird. So it is not even that far of a draw distance. I mean, that is not that far. Probably when I get down, it will draw it in. And now it's drawn in. So if I walk back, it should draw out. Yes, that's about now. It was drawn out. It's not all the way at the back over there. God damn it. Oh. Now it's low detail, or at least if I'm going here, it's low detail. And if I'm walking toward it, look at the far distance. Now it gets drawn in. Okay, I will just leave it be. Let's finally, sorry, this is indeed not fun to watch, but it's, yeah, background of the game. Let's finally get to that unicorn and maybe see if there's something here hidden below. I don't think so. It's actually a bigger pond than I thought. Cannot wait for my new PC with 44 frames per second, 39, holy smack. I hardly can sell this as a 60 frames per second. I will edit it or yeah, convert it into a 60 frames per second video. But the base material is of course quite a lot lower than that. Okay, and I'm going to put again the HUD off because it's simply too distracting for my taste. Those new entrance marker and stuff, I don't want to read that. I want to discover it for myself. So stupid. Alright, let's just get the map ready and... No, this is not the map. God damn it. Over here. And see where we have to go. We have to go straight ahead. We are way out of the area we need to get to. Nice little rabbit. I also remember that from the first time I booted up The Witcher 3. Like the little rabbits and stuff. In the fields near Velen. Alright, I have to get to the right.
Sort of the times, my good fella. What's the... What?
Yeah, it actually is such a low frame rate. Let's see if I turn off the tweak. If the frame rate pops up. Because I didn't set it to read only the config, so I can just turn it off from inside the game. This is the one, folia visibility range. So now... Yeah, I do think that we're like 5 frames per second or something. And for instance, in an area like this, you really don't notice it because you cannot look that far ahead anyways. So I'm afraid I will have to leave it off my tweak. But probably will turn it back on anyways because I am a bit of a graphical whore. As regards to viewing distances, this is where we came from. Where the hell do we need... Huh? Okay. I'm doing a 180 and a bit to the east. That is the correct direction, I'd say. Yes. So let's try to maintain this direction. But there's no opening in here. There's no unicorn. This is like a civil area or an urbanized area, or however you call it. Cultivated area. Apparently it's down here. There's an opening. Ah, there he is.
Unicorns are
Perhaps an apple will work. Or some sweets.
We would not be in this predicament, dear sister, were you still a virgin.
Do you really wish to have this conversation again? Here and now?
Hush, or you'll spook the beast. We shall try the sweets. Hey folks, gonna have to ruin your fun. Sorry.
Who's that?
Come on, Witcher. That was to be expected. Here, for instance, now the game would have given a big indicator like, oh, follow the horse or something. But I can also make stuff like that up myself, so...
Damn it.
I should probably use a bit of Axie.
Duchess Anna Henrietta.
Almost had it.
God damn it, that didn't work. What the hell is this? It's a very bright thingy. Yeah, you tell me what to do. I cannot really crouch or anything. I can only try to get to it from behind and really slowly. Alright, let's check out again the wrong button. Use your witcher senses to find a treat for the unicorn.
Damn it.
Here it is.
Crispy apple. Like that, like any other damn horse.
You have a new quest item. Prepare it for use by placing it in an appropriate slot in the inventory panel, then selecting it from the quick access menu. To use the item, press or hold right button. Okay. It's already equipped, so that's good. And what's this?
Cold game's not likely to tempt a unicorn.
No. I think the apple is better. Huh? Where's the... Did I have another one? Yes. Alright, where is the beast? Or the unicorn? Why isn't Geralt running? Okay, because he had the apple equipped. Where art thou? To the left a bit. There it is.
My heart's about to burst from a surfeit of beauty.
An apple. Yum yum.
Come on over here, unicorn. Good work.
Easy.
Alright, let's see what we have to do next. Meet the Duchess to assemble the clues and learn where Milton is hiding. I was actually thinking, what the hell was our objective with the Milton dudes? Did I already read it? No sooner had Geralt arrived in Toussaint than he got his first taste of the local color. Yeah, that was with the first monster. At long last the giant lay defeated. While Milton thought it both wise and courteous to accompany the Witcher, Geralt failed to find the victim's body on the riverbank. It seemed the ducal guard had removed it to the cool cellars of the Corvo Bianco estate. Ah, by the way, that estate we got gifted, so we can check it out. That's our home. Ever the ferreter, however, Geralt did spot something the soldiers had overlooked. Based on the item and with Milton's help, he established the identity of the beast's most recent victim, yet he failed to divine the species, genus, or family of the creature that had perpetrated the crime. Only an autopsy could help him do that, so Geralt set off for Corvo Bianco. Alone, this time, as duties at court had called Milton to the ducal palace. So Geralt set off for Corvo Bianco alone, this time as duties at the court had called Milton to the ducal palace. Alas, something wicked had arrived at Corvo Bianco vineyard. As the Witcher drew near the estate, yet was still at some distance, battle sounds reached his ears. On arriving, he saw the bodies of guardsmen murdered just moments before by Abraxa. The Witcher promptly defeated the vampires, who was not the beast itself, but was clearly in league with it. Yet Geralt could not guess at the link between them, nor at the... Yet Geralt could not guess at the link between them. Who is them? Oh, nor at the identity of the creature that had inspired the Bruxas rampage through the vineyards. The Witcher needed information on the beast's previous victims. He supposed the Duchess might have this and thus set off to find her. Anna Henriette's time was precious. To get an audience with her was never an easy feat, even more so in those days, as the Duchess was overseeing a chivalric tourney playing out on tourney grounds outside the walls of Toussaint's capital. Yet, in the end, Geralt faced the one who had summoned him. As they related what each had learned about the beast, thus pooling their knowledge and hypothesis, they deduced the likely identity of its next victim, who could very well prove to be Milton the Perak Paran. Geralt and Anna Henrietta rushed like rabbits through the palace gardens. Ironically, at the time the gardens were the venue for a game of Hunt the Hare. Milton had been assigned the title role. The knight, having donned a bunny rabbit costume, sat hiding in the gardens, waiting to be found by the game's participants based on clues they could win by completing various challenges. Yet the Duchess and the Witcher could spare no time for such nonsense and set out to win the clues by breaking the rules. Clear. Let's see where we have to go. We have to go to the left and straight ahead. And indeed, it was that guy we deduced the next probable victim. And then we were on our way to find him, as he was hiding somewhere around here for that game of Hunt the Hare. So I guess Henrietta is over there, yes?
If you please, Your Grace.
We do not please. We act out of the highest necessity, or shall be explained later.
But it's against the rules.
I am the rules.
I think there's a graphical bug. Oh no, I thought she was missing something in her hands, but she was just holding her hand out.
Geralt! At last.
Got a key and a clue.
And I've another. Show me yours. Who wrote this drivel? I begin like a groan, hollowed out with ease, then end like a mouse with a head of hard cheese.
I have no idea. A head of harrowed cheese? I would say in the palace pantry.
Mice and cheese. Palace pantry, maybe?
No. The hare is obliged to hide here in the gardens. Look, if we take row, hollow it out and fill it with ease. The letters, that is. We get green. Then mouse, but starting with what heads hard cheese. Why, it's greenhouse.
Pretty clever. And it sounds right to me.
There are several greenhouses in the gardens, but only one with a door that locks. And the key to it looks just like the one we found.
Greenhouse. Let's go.
Why? Quest completed. I have the HUD turned off, right? Or did it turn off again? Turn on again?
Wait here.
I think he's already dead. No, he's not. Yes, he is. There the monster was. Oh.
Oh, what the butch?
What was that?
Good work, Garrett. be funny if you fight him now and then it's, yeah, you succeeded, quest completed, DLC ended. It'd be a pretty short DLC.
This belonged to you, maybe?
It did, but you may keep it. I've a new one. I do not know you. I've done you no harm. Yet first you butchered a Bruxer who was dear to me. Now you pursue me. Why?
You've killed 4 innocent people, at least.
And you? How many innocents have you cut down?
Yeah, I don't know.
Not here to talk about me.
Yet that is exactly what we are doing. So, did they send you after me? Who are they?
What do you mean, they? Duchess hired me. You've been murdering her subjects.
Is it as simple as that? I would ask you to convey to the Duchess that I've but one victim left, but you'll not get the chance.
God damn it. Right, eyewitness to gruesome monster attacks always have... Eyewitnesses to gruesome monster attacks always have a hard time describing the creature in question. The beasts move quickly and often attack at night. While the witnesses are terrified and primarily concerned with fleeing for their lives. As a result, witchers quite often have no inkling what creature they face until they find tracks or otherwise establish something for themselves. Such was the case with the beast tormenting Beauclair. Geralt knew it was deadly, elusive and fiendishly clever. Everything else he heard was clearly the product of imaginations fed by fear of a dangerous predator. Vulnerable against... Holy shit, it doesn't say anything. Is that a bug? Or is that because I turned off the HUD? By the way, the HUD seemed to be on again, because I got that quest completed notification. But it's the dark brown potion. So let's take the dark brown potion. That would be this one. That's beast oil. Cannot imagine. I'd say it's a vampire, right? I'm going to go with vampire oil. Or shouldn't I? Yes, let's just do it. I have no idea what my health is, but whatever. Let's take some extra vitality. That was this one. And let's just see how far we get.
To stay where you were. Regenerate.
I know you're in trouble. I can help.
I'll help myself.
No,
gross.
He's my friend.
Do some regeneration.
Yes, Geralt, it's me.
Regis? You alright?
All is well. All's in order. Wounds such as these heal on vampires in moments. But we've not seen one another in ages, my friend. At least in human terms, that is.
How's this even possible? Last I saw you...
I was a bubbling, shapeless smear, having been rather spectacularly melted into a column of a certain castle. In somewhat better shape now, as you can see. Hardly peak form, mind you, but were I human, folk would think me a demigod, I dare say.
I'm sorry. What happened, it was my fault. Never got a chance to apologize.
No need, Geralt. Bygones. I did not have to join you on that expedition. No one twisted my arm.
Killer mounting, seems you know him. What brings you back? How to regenerate.
Local serial killer seems to obey you. Maybe you could talk him out of it, convince him to stop murdering.
Why do you think I've come? It shall not be easy, as Dettlaff can be rather stubborn. Though you must certainly recall that neither do I surrender readily.
So that's his name. He's your friend?
You might call it that. Though Dettlaff is... how would you humans put it? More bestial than I am. But not to worry. I'm working on him.
Haven't exactly done a great job with that. He's killed one knight since I got here. At least 3 others before I arrived.
For good reason, I'm sure. Understand, Dettlaff is not some decadent shit who kills for sport, or to assuage a dryness of throat or a dullness of mood.
So in your opinion, what are his reasons?
Precisely what I wish to find out. And then I will convince him of the error of his ways.
Got a lot of faith in the guy.
Despite appearances to the contrary, you two are quite alike. You've both noble hearts, yet you both are wont to perform ignoble deeds. When circumstances force you to, of course. Remember the year 964?
That was 3 centuries ago.
Blind fear gripped Rivia, Lyria, and Spala. Women and children were dying. Their mutilated, dismembered corpses littered the fields.
Brute of Lyria. Read about it. Chewed up almost 200, then fell to a common poacher supposedly armed with a dagger blessed by some prophet.
It fell to Dettlaff, who then found a poacher asleep in the brush near his snares and dropped the fiend's corpse at his feet. And thus, a legend was born.
Vampires rarely help humans. Must have had his own agenda, hunting the beast.
You err. He slew it for one reason alone. The monster killed a lad who once, in the street, had offered Dettlaff an apple, expecting nothing in return.
Terribly noble of him.
You do not have a monopoly on altruism, my friend. Vilgefortz melted my body. Dettlaff found what was left. As per our codex, he had a choice. To leave me where I was, or to care for me and nurture my remains. He chose the latter. Regenerated me at no small expense in his own blood. Do you know what that means to a vampire? The gravity of the endeavor?
Probably same thing it means to a human. You owe him your life.
Much more than that. The act itself made us blood brethren. A bond so strong humans cannot even imagine. Which is why I know something ill is afoot.
Always had an overdeveloped sense of empathy.
Each vampire has a unique talent. One they hone over centuries. It's precisely what renders us so difficult to classify. Dettlaff's trump card is his herd instinct, his tribal propensity. In point of fact, he prefers the company of lesser vampires and shuns that of humans. If he walks among you, killing egregiously, it can only mean something's upset him, immensely.
Anything specific? Some set of things that'd be likely to set him off?
How should I say this? Dettlaff doesn't understand men, their world, its rules, its conventions. He's naive in a sense. He doesn't comprehend your games, knows not what it means to lie, deceive.
Suggesting he's maladjusted, and venting his rage.
I'm suggesting maladjustment can at times breed conflict. But is it the case this time? I cannot say, but intend to find out.
Gotta find him, before something upsets him even more, and all Beauclair is awash with blood.
Well, we share a cause then, just like the old days.
Not entirely. I mean, when I find him, you know.
I know you've a contract on his head. Yet your true task is to stop the beast killing, not necessarily to kill the beast, am I right?
All in all, sure.
Let us find him. By the time we do, I hope I'll have convinced you Detlef is no monster.
Fine, all right already. But for now, evidence is stacking up against him.
Hear that?
The posse. Knights must have tracked me here.
I'd prefer they not find me here. I've makeshift quarters at Mère Lachaise Long Cemetery. We'll meet there.
See you.
The posse? What posse? Ah.
Which
regular
flew
knights.
here as fast as our courses would carry us. Yet I fear we're late all the same. Pray, where is the beast?
Still investigating. About to inspect this site. Withdraw your men before they trample all over the evidence.
Sirs, we must let the Witcher do his work. Milton's murder cannot go unavenged.
Good work, boys. Right, what is that bloody outline? Was I hurt that bad? Do I actually have like a visual cue in the HUD when you're near death? No idea. I just took some water. Hopefully it will regenerate the health. I will put off the FPS counter. I mean, there's not much use to it. Now, I know that extending the grass distance does have some impact on the frames per second. Alright, the water did do its job. And I was wondering on whether the HUD secretly turned back on again. Let's see. No, it's still HUD visibility to off. So I'm not sure why we got that quest completed notification anyways. It should have been not popping up with the HUD fully turned off, but whatever. Okay, our objective is to check out this little building. And look for clues. Not that much here, I'd say. Let's check upstairs. Check this letter. Check what it says. Love letter. Where the hell is a love letter stored? I think of what the hell is this? Handkerchief monogram DLC. Pretty funny, downloadable content. Pate contracts, Gwent tournament, announcement, the White Wolf. For what? The White Wolf. That's a contract. So we have two contracts. Where did it say? Oh, here, contract for Geralt, and there was another contract, I guess. Caravan escorts, Gwent, announcements, book. Okay, so there's only one contract. Let's read the love letter. Is this it? Yes. My beloved Clara, you have no idea how happy I am that the warehouse has been closed. How good it is to know each time we wish to embrace, no one shall stand in our way. Neither my father nor your mother. It shall never occur to them we rendezvous in this shuttered warehouse. I already laugh at the thought of clambering over rooftops like before, or looking through the rushes by the river. Even now, writing these words, I feel how much I would like to see you. I hope it will be like yesterday. I cannot speak for you, but as for me, I would just as well. We never set foot out of this, our warehouse, our wonderland. Longingly, your Albert. Albert is like a romanticus. Let's check out the chest. Alright, I will just take it. I think maybe it's more those what may seem like regular apparel. I think may actually be
Must allow the Witcher to ply his trade.
more have better attributes than the armor that the default armor that came with the DLC that we are now wearing. How the hell can I get to the other side? Do I need to jump the beam? Do I need to... God damn it! Wrong button. Alright, here we go. Let's do a little sprint. And let's do a jump. Ooh. No. Okay, there's nothing much I can find in here. Let's see what the objective is. Oh, meet Regis at Mare La Gazelle Long Cemetery. The Beast and Geralt's clash had been violent, albeit brief. Now with it done, Geralt could have a chat with his long-lost friend Regis. A higher vampire, Regis revealed that the creature terrorizing Beauclair was none other than his dear friend Deadlove. Geralt now understood he was pursuing a truly dangerous foe. A higher vampire, one of Regis's ilk. Then the Witcher and the vampire heard a clamor. A posse was drawing near, so Geralt and Regis cut their conversation short. Preferring not to draw any attention, the vampire disappeared, but not before inviting the Witcher to pay him a visit at temporary quarters he'd established at the local cemetery. You had better believe it. Mare La Chaise-Longue. Mare La Chaise-Longue. Alright, I was under the impression that Witcher in the cutscene mentioned that he would be checking out this building for evidence, so that's why I was looking around, but actually that is not at all our objective. Our objective is something totally different. And it's not cutting logs, but it is... I always find the color of the water in The Witcher beautiful. Like that bluish shine near the edge, near the coastline. Beautiful. Very cool detail. Dude doing his thing. I hope it was just a sanitary stop. Okay, again, we have to see where we have to go, and it is over there. We could also do a contract in between. Maybe that's a good thing to do in between, to get some more some leveling up, and maybe some more means to get some better gear. Although I did already have quite some monies, with 20,000 monies. So I could already level up a bit. I think there's Julko Camerlengo, don't know what that is, who doles out rewards for contracts. Then what is this to the right? Is that a bank? No, this is simply one symbol. I thought it were two. We have like a grindstone over there. But what we are actually looking for is like a blacksmith, an armorer. Yeah, I think maybe it's a good idea to just do, before just hunting that creature, let's do some side quest. So that would be, let's go to the inventory. Let's see what we have over here. Letter of safe conduct, deeds to Corvo Bianco. Actually, that is also cool. Let's go to our home and from our home see what we will be doing as a side contract. So we are looking for Corvo Bianco. Over here it is. Let's see where it is in the grand scheme of things. By the way, holy shit, it's a pretty big map for a DLC. It's not like that big, but it's pretty big. And our home is smack in the middle, more or less. So we have the city to the south. We have some swampy area to the north. And what's the name of... Why can't I zoom in? Oh, like this. What's the name of this city? Is that the Duchy of Toussaint? No. That's like the region, I guess. This city doesn't really seem to have a name besides Beauclair Palace, I guess. So we are going to simply follow the coastline. Then we have tourney grounds where we have like the armorer and stuff. That was also with the arena where we found, where we fought the Shalmar. And then, yeah, right beside it, that was also where the cellar was, where we fought the first Bruxa. That is now our estate. So let's get right on over there. I have the feeling that I should go over there, but somehow... No, the map points me over there, so indeed, it is over there. That was like a dead end over there.
To be born in Toussaint is to be born under a lucky star.
You say it, man, you say it. I'm just saving the recording just to be sure. Alright. Shall we get all the way on top? Actually pretty cool, this verticality. And a pretty greenish roof. The colors, actually, it really shouldn't work, but somehow it does. It's all so over the top. It's almost like a comic book that you're walking around in. What the hell?
Sir! A letter for you, sir!
Letter? Who from?
Can't rightly say, sir. I was just to deliver it.
Here, boy, your tip.
Here. Thanks.
No, sir. Thank you. And I truly hope I'll be of service again.
My dear friend.
I've been told you're on a jaunt to Toussaint. I do hope you don't overtax yourself during the wine festival. The effects of such exertion at your age can indeed prove most detrimental. I've come upon some information which might be of interest to you. While browsing through a colleague's book collection, I found mention of one Professor Moreau of Beauclair, who conducted research into Witcher mutations. The details I've come to learn are rather vague, and his laboratory's location remains a mystery. Yet his journal should at least provide hints as to both. It is said he was laid to rest with it in his tomb. I enclose a map I found in the tome I happened upon. Though less than completely legible, I trust it will prove useful nonetheless. Should you grow tired of sampling Beauclair's ladies, wines, and other exquisite delicacies, this matter might prove a fruitful diversion. Investigate at your leisure. Your friend, Yennefer.
A professor who studied Witcher mutations. Might actually be worth looking into.
One sec, I'm just googling Yennefer because I thought this was Trish. Okay, Yennefer is the one with the red hair. I think Trish is the one with the black hair.
By those who can hang heroes.
Let's check out that side mission. Secondary quest. Holy shit, there are a lot of them. Search for Moreau's grave at Orlimur Cemetery. 35, we are 36. Go to Corvo Bianco, that's what we are doing now. The Warble of a Smith and Knight. Visit Guillaume in the medic stands. There can be only one. Investigate the Isle on Lac Selavie. Meet with the tournament's organizer, that's Gwent's Mutual of Beauclair's Wild Kingdom. Meet the merchants at the camp. That's 46. That's a lot of levels left. Knight for hire. Go to the Ducal Camerlengo to learn the details of the contract. Geralt came across an altogether typical looking notice. Someone was looking for the help of knights or other strongmen. He concluded he met the above stated requirements and set off for Knight's Dormant Square to meet with the Duke of Camerlengo. Wine Wars. Go to the place where the auction will be held. Perusing a notice board in Toussaint, Geralt found the appeal of a ducal clerk. The clerk was seeking all manner of vagabonds, knights, errants, and mercenaries. The posting did not seem to be an offer of Witcher's work. Even so, Geralt decided to learn more about his mystery job. Witcher contracts. Big game hunter. Talk to Belladol. One day, Geralt happened upon an unusual contract notice. Someone was seeking the aid, not of some unnamed Witcher, but specifically of the Witcher named Geralt of Rivia. The notice listed no other details, so Geralt, admittedly intrigued, resolved to see what was its issue. Alright, let's first get to our house. No place like home, but... And let's... How can I deselect it? I have no idea actually. I thought maybe the right thumbstick, but it's not. Where are we now? Oh. Over here. But also this one, the Duke of Camerlengo. This doesn't have any level, just like No Place Like Home. It doesn't have any level requirements, so and this one is pretty close by where we are now, I guess. I think this is the Ducal Camerlengo, right? Yes. So let's go and see what that is all about first before heading to our home. So yeah, that should be somewhere to the right. Is this the Ducal? I would say it's over here.
Have there been any tidings?
It's a weird bluish shine that their armor has. Right.
Yes, friend.
Man, they did do a good job in the details.
Many a knight will not live with his life. A wild flush fills one man's eyes, though another's veins hot blood flies.
Sucks its blood to piss. I paid too much out again. May history's wheel roll onward.
Greetings, brave hero. I am Raphael de Serman, and I am the Ducal Camerlengo.
I'm Geralt. So what is it you do here?
I pay the knights errant.
For what?
Our knights wander the roads, protecting Toussaint from bandits and monsters. It is fitting and just that they be recompensed appropriately for these toils. Note, sir, that should you successfully smash hands, save a brother knight from peril, or extract a captured merchant from the hands of cutthroats, come see me. You shall be rewarded.
Let's see what he got.
Wouldn't mind a glance at your books. Ones you're willing to sell, that is.
Holy shit, what are these? Parchments. A lot of diagrams again, but I'm wondering... I think that's the annoying thing. I really hope it's not the case, but that it also displays diagrams that I already have. So that makes it all so cumbersome. This whole inventory, they did streamline it from the initial release version of the game. Afterwards they streamlined the inventory a bit more because it really was a pretty big mess. But it still is a bit in my book. Because, let's see. Let's see which diagrams I already have. This is the annoying thing. I have to get all the way, all out of this menu.
Go in peace for a night.
Okay, let's...
May history's wheel
I have to go
roll
to the crafting
100.
menu. No, this is alchemy. We want crafting. Here we go. And we need to have the diagrams, not the glyphs, but the... what do we need? We need... It were not runestones that he sold, right? Yeah, I think it were glyphs. So I have glyph. I have all the regular glyph diagrams. I have the greater glyphs diagrams. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so I have all the glyph diagrams. If there's any glyph diagram here.
Wouldn't mind a glance at your books.
Then it will be double. Oh, these are runestones. I'm such an asshole. Okay, let's see which runestone diagrams I already have.
Well, see you later.
Go in peace.
Also a bit annoying. Normally you just hit the B button, the red circle, to return to the previous menu.
Many a night will not live
Only
with
when
this
you
life.
hit like the conversation options, you cannot hit that button to simply get out of the whole menu. You have to actively select farewell, which is a bit inconsistent. You can hit the red button before that to get to that menu, the conversation options, but you cannot hit it once more to get out of the options. You have to hit farewell. Stupid. Alright, runestones is what I can buy. And these are glyphs. So maybe I don't have any runestone diagrams yet. If that is the case, it could well be that the merchants only display diagrams that you do not yet have, which would be very good, and then I will not have said anything. Like my complaining about the menus. No, the runestones are not here. But chest armor. No, this is just armor. No, I think it should be stated under the upgrades menu. And not anywhere else. Maybe under alchemy. No, these are... No, it's not here. Okay, so I guess I can simply buy them. I don't have them yet.
Greetings, knight.
Wouldn't mind a glance at your book.
Alright, and what is this? These are all regular books, I guess. Maybe a side quest is hidden in one or two of them. Gwent book. For now I will leave it be. It's nice to get some background lore. By the way, let's see what the books are, why not? So we have the so-called giant centipedes. Me and my panther. Guide to vineyards. Hellhounds. This is actually probably pretty handy for the bestiary. That's also why I'm checking it out. And I hope there's a book on the spiders. How you defeat the spiders. Arch spores. I will buy this one. I think arch spores are maybe those fleshy plants. Flesh-eating plants. Noble houses. Elven architecture. Fortress of Doontine. The last basilisk. Elder Blood. Brookside. Alps. Okay, let's also take that book. That's a bestiary entry. And if I'm going for the bestiary entries, then I can just as well take hellhounds. It's handy that I have those tips before I will encounter them. And let's take centipedes. And let's see what he has more. Iron Sights, Iron Tail, that are probably some clans. Itline's Prophecy. This looks a bit like Itline's Prophecy. To me, comes over as a possible quest. So let's take this one. What the hell is this? Sound Waves, Bats and Shalmars. Alright, take that one. The Ducal Chronicle. Gwent. Slizzards Through the Ages. I'm not sure whether a Slizzard is a beast, but let's assume it is. A Code Duello. That's probably for sword fighting, dueling. Guide to Vineyards. Civil War. Insectoids. We'll take this one. Spheres. Garcanes. Fire and Stone. The Proto-Flatter. Basilisks. There was also something on basilisks here. Oh, the last basilisk of its kind, a study in ecology. And here that's ecology, and here it's hunting them. A basilisk can also be, I think, a kind of architectural thing, like a tower or something. But it's also a monster. Maybe it's not an architectural thing, maybe I'm just confused. But let's take this one, it looks like a monster. Ducal Chronicle. Tenebrous Wilderness of Kite Murk. The wilderness. That will maybe also have some tips on the monsters. Anti-Flatter Stratagem. A flatter, that's probably a monster. The Adventures of Spiky. Kickamores, Truth and Myths about the Insidious Insectoids. That's a monster. Katakans. That's also a monster, I guess. So we have a lot of monster books. I hope. A note. A book. And this was... Oh man, my controller sometimes sticks and then the cursor, it's just continues. Super annoying. That was parchment. And here we have lesser glyph. Lesser... okay, I didn't have the lesser versions of the glyphs. I only had the regular ones and the greater ones. So I will leave this be. I don't care for the lesser ones. Lesser runestone, don't care for that. Lesser runestone. Here again, my cursor, it's so annoying. Dust book. I can buy these, or I can only buy the greater ones. Let's just only buy the greater ones. Lesser glyph. Lesser Glyph. Devana. Lesser Strybog. Borg. Greater Veled's Runestone. That's a good one. Lesser Perun. Greater Dustbog. That sounds like a good one. Greater Chernobog. Sounds like a good one. Lesser Triglav. Veles Runestone. Lesser Glyph. Greater Strybog Runestone. Zoria Runestone. Morana Runestone. Strybog Runestone. Lesser Glyph. Lesser Swarog Runestone. Triglav Runestone. Lesser Glyph of Írden. Lesser Chernobog Runestone. Chernobog Runestone. Maybe there's some kind of tier structure in here. That I do need those lesser or regular diagrams instead of only the greater. Because possibly you can only make the greater while first creating the regular ones, and you can only create the regular ones while first creating the lesser ones. And maybe to create the lesser and the regular ones, you do need their separate diagrams as well. I'm not sure. I will check it out. What is required to build a greater runestone or glyph? Powdered pearl, black pearl dust, coil, oil, resin, feather, wax. Okay, let's just leave that all. Thanks to the shopkeeper. Maybe I could also sell something. I have a lot of hides. Yeah, this is simply junk. So, thank you. Junk. 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 Pouch filled with florins. Quest item. Handkerchief. But there are no quest items anymore, so I can simply sell it. But it's worth 1 florin. That's too little. Let's see if I can sell it. Yes, I can. It also has like this little exclamation mark here. I can buy it back for 2. I sold it for 1, can buy it back for 2. No, I will just sell it. Just keep our inventory as clean as possible. Pouch filled with florins. See you later. It's a bit weird. It's a pouch filled with multiple florins and I sell it for only 1 florin. It doesn't make a lot of commercial sense, but whatever. I cannot sell my crafting and alchemy stuff. These are the books I just bought. What's this? Trophy. Bonus experience. Okay, let's just leave it. I could sell some clearance. No. I will use that eventually. Let's just all leave it be. This shopkeeper only... I turned off the HUD, so why do I get... Why do I see these notifications? It's so annoying. Going to pay the knights. Where it come from? Okay, whatever.
Well, see you later.
Go in peace for a night.
Not too long ago, I also had these upgrades, and you only, I think you only heard the sound, and you didn't see the notification. So it's also so many questions killing me. It's all set to off. Even the HUD visibility in itself is set to off here. Okay, whatever. By the way, let's see what I need to... If there is like this tiered setup for those runes and glyphs to create them. So for a glyph of art, you first need to create a lesser glyph of arts. So I do need to buy all those diagrams, because without the diagram I cannot create a lesser glyph. So I can also not create a regular glyph, and then also cannot create a greater glyph or runestone. So I am going to have to buy some more of this dude.
Wouldn't mind a glance at your books.
So thank you very much. Nope. So it was quite expensive. I came with 20,000. I now have 16. But no pain, no gain. And let's ask him, where the hell does he get his coin?
Can't help but be curious. But where do the funds for those payments come from?
The ducal treasury, of course. Her illustrious highness Anna Henrietta assigns great value to bravery and selfless patriotism. It is her standing order that any knight may receive a wage. Pardon me. Financial compensation for his dedication to defending the duchy's internal security and order.
What the hell is this? This was like we do not really have a lot of options anymore, but it did.
Well, see you later.
Seem like a quest item. This was mentioned in our quest. I'm pretty certain. It said go to that dude. Go to the Camerlengo. Here, wasn't it this one? Go to the Duke of Camerlengo to learn the details of the contract. I didn't hear any details on the contract. Complete the contract you took on from the Camerlengo. 15 contracts. Geralt came across an altogether blah blah blah. Looking noticed someone was looking for the help of knights or other strongmen. He concluded he met the above stated requirements and set off for Knight's Dormant Square to meet with Duke of Camerlengo. 0 out of 15. We have 15 contracts taken from the Camerlengo, apparently. So are they now displayed on the board? On the map? Yeah, I guess so. Knight for hire. Yeah. Alright. So that's like a side quest, doing all those 15 Knights for Hire quests. That's fine. Let's get to tourney grounds and meet up with the armorer over there.
Wanting death's peace to know, and those who were in fresh.
By the way, they did do a terrific job. It really feels like you're in like a...
I think I shall say tittle it all and go hunt the ship.
A comic book or even a cartoon or something. Really cool.
I'm my own master with a bottle in front of me. Hey! It's no disaster. Hey! Excuse me.
I don't like Toussaint any better than the main game location. But I also don't really like the main game location way better than Toussaint. Maybe a bit. It's more gritty, which I actually like a bit more. But this is a really nice change of breath, change of pace.
It's rolling on an empty stomach.
The idea is to get to that other village, which was... I'm again walking the wrong direction. That's so stupid. I have to be going that direction. See you later, dudes.
Keep calm. Start no problem. Burst from a surfeit of beauty.
It's also always pretty funny that right now I'm really digging this, but like in a couple of years, or maybe even 1 or 2 years, when ray tracing will have been fully implemented by developers and they really get to grips with it. This is actually where we came from, where there was a dead end. Then probably this game will look like really simplistic and basic as regards to graphics. It's really cool to see that development goes so quickly, actually.
Prepare to witness wonders at the
But that doesn't mean you should appreciate what you got right now. Let's see. That looked really like nothing, dude. Ah, Roach. Roach. Man, Roach controls are really... He doesn't let me mount him. I'm just pressing the A button, nothing happens. Or isn't this Roach? No, I don't think this is Roach. Let's check on the map. No. I think Roach has his... Doesn't Roach have its own icon? No, I don't think so, because he should be somewhere at the palace. Let's see what happens if we call him. Oh. Somehow I cannot call him. Okay, that's maybe because we're in town.
How is it that you
The other people are allowed to get their horses in.
Let us rupture the fence. That Trump is the famed witcher.
I do what they paid me to do.
We do not need to get any higher up. Or couldn't we call Roach because this is Roach? We were too close to him. But he doesn't let me mount him, which is a shame. Come on, Roach.
Quite the fragrant whiff.
What's this?
The pheasantry stewing up.
In accordance with Article 161 of the Duke of Cote, the Attorney General of the City of Beauclair has designated a reward to be given to whomsoever shall bring before the court one Antoine Stragan alias Starling, or else provide proof of his passing. Arrest warrant. Alright. Anyhow, where is the exit? No, this is also where I already was. We need to get the hell out of here. And why isn't that possible? Okay, I will take this road.
Those scars. That gaze.
And then this direction. Ah, here's the exit. It really has such a cozy feeling, this game world.
What will the morrow bring?
It's actually a pretty big little town here with all the little dwellings. What's this? Looks like a chemist or a herbalist, but I cannot really open the door. Let's see if we can get in here. Nope. See if we can read the board, the sign. Tay the Corentin Nursery. Okay, maybe that's like a later quest location. And let's get the hell out of town.
Life in Beauclair can be quite dear.
depth.
The guard brings peace to our domains. He's rot in jail.
That's the butcher of the black. Look at that, just look.
Cheap shenanigans. I can't see things with these cataracts.
What the hell are cataracts?
Scrawny, grey-haired, ill-favored.
By the way, what I forgot is we have to read all the books I bought. Otherwise, they will probably not. That's the island, I think, of the side quest. That in the lake we have to explore an island. Because, but anyways, those books, if we don't read them, I don't think they will pop up as an entry in the bestiary, which was the one of the goals. Besides, of course, reading a bit of lore, it's also about the tips to defeat the monsters. Okay, that is our objective, by the way. The arena area. There's an armorer over there. And again, you can see over there in the distance that low detail grass below that tree in the distance. And I'm again thinking of turning on the tweak I mentioned. I could maybe just turn it on, like not double the value, but put it from 1.5 to 2. Let's see if that makes a difference with that little grassy area in the distance. One sec. Alright, I bumped it up from 1.5 to 2 instead of 3. So I didn't double it, but I only did like a 30% increase. And I do think I see some grass now below that tree all the way at the back, near that shadow on the ground. So it does seem to do something. So that's hopefully this is maybe a good in-between balance between performance and visual quality. And what I noticed, what the GeForce article mentioned, is that if you bump it up from 1.5 to 3, that it takes about 6 to 7 frames per second. And that could be quite right with what I was experiencing. Actually, I did think, like, watching the frames per second counter, it did seem to not change that much. It was all in the 50-55 frames per second range. But somehow it felt a bit more sluggish. So it did seem to have some impact. Okay, let's go to the armorer, but we also, what I would like to do is check the armor that we found, whether that is better than we have. Can I compare it? Yes. Yeah, this one isn't that much better. We have actually better specific resistances. So I will leave this one. Oh, there was also like this hierarchy in the types of items. You have master items, magic items, and common items. Common, master, magic. I'm not sure what's better, master or magic. There was also, I think, another level. Master item. Yeah, these two are both not really that much better than what I already have. You can only fit this upgrade to an item which has a matching and currently unused socket. Okay. And let's, for fun of it, just don our little
afford a barber, let alone
casual shirt. It's nice weather. And let's also get rid of those big ass gloves. So, chilling out.
Come on, good folk, come quickly. I haven't enough for everyone.
Here, you see over there, you really... On the other side... Yeah, I'm really just distracted by it, but on the other side of the water you also have that low quality grass. Let's see if there's supposed to be grass there, if I get near it. Let's see if there's grass popping up. A little bit. Yes, there is supposed to be grass over there. And now it's gone, and I find those little... Yeah, it's not that bad, but it's all indeed the balance between performance and quality, but I find it a bit distracting still. Those barren pieces of texture. I am going to try the setting 3 for one more time. One sec, and see how, if it's really that unplayable. One sec. Alright, now it's set to 3, and indeed some grass did pop up over there in the distance. And that is actually indeed the distance that, like, it doesn't need to be that much further for me. But this is really stuff that you noticed, I guess. So this really is an enhancement to the quality. But it is maybe, yeah, of course, a bit lower FPS right now. And now, indeed, it's also... disappeared, and only now does it reappear, and now it disappears, and the grass reappears. So yeah, and at the level of 2 it only appeared like when I was midway swimming towards the other side. So it does indeed really increase the draw distance. But again, there are, of course, not always are you able to see that far. And it does feel a bit more sluggish. If I'm panning the camera around. Let's one more time just put it to ultra, like the default ultra. Nope. Here we go. Yeah, or maybe it's a placebo effect, but I do think it seems a bit more responsive. The only problem is that now the grass will only appear like way later probably. Let's see where it appears now. The setting now is 1.5. And I first had it at 2 and lastly I had it at 3. Now the limit of appearing grass is... Yeah, it only appears now. Yeah, that's actually pretty close by. I mean, if I walk over here, yes, it disappears. But you also need a bit of FPS to fight those monsters. That's the problem. Let's see if it's really that distracting. Yeah, now the grass over there pops up. Okay, I will set it to 3 and just see if it really becomes unplayable as regards FPS, and otherwise I revert it back to 1.5 or 2. 1 sec. This is a bit of testing around. Alright, it's back at 3. And you see the grass is everywhere. So let's see if this remains playable, because it does give a pretty big boost to the visuals in my book. Draw distance is a big thing, I guess, in games like these.
Hello. Good day.
And I could maybe also up the texture memory budget. Why not? I'm gonna do that also. 1 sec. That gives the, I think, a bit more, I have like 8 gigabytes. 8 or 4? What does the 1070 GTX have? Like the graphics memory. But I do have enough, I would say. So I'm bumping it up from 800 to 1200 in the config file. That should reduce pop-in of textures loading in. 1 sec. Right, the setting texture memory budget. I have upped it from 800 to 1200. Hopefully that also makes a bit of a change. Not really sure. I'm just messing about a bit, but let's see where it gets us.
Oh, that's bad luck. My warmest greetings. Ahoy! Ahoy!
Ahoy! Oh, I have to reduce the volume a bit because I ordered some food, and last time when I had my headphones on, I didn't hear the doorbell.
His brand new mattress.
Who the hell is this?
Suffers from a disconnect with reality.
Alright. Anyways, we still need to read our books. And we could do that at our place, our new Corvo Bianco estate, or whatever it's called. But we can also find a nice location over here. Like, too bad. That's also immersion that really Skyrim has that this game lacks. Like, you cannot sit down on chairs or on the ground or wherever. And in Skyrim, especially with mods, you could simply do whatever you want. You could sleep wherever you want, build a tent, sit down, lie down. And that are small things, but it's really good for role-playing. And you don't always want to be fighting or traveling. Sometimes you just want to hang out and sit. For instance, now, reading a book. And that would be way cooler if Geralt could sit down. But yeah, whatever. Let's read the books. And to get the bestiary entries. Here we go. These are contracts that we, I think, already read on the notice board itself. But let's read them just to be sure. This was the request note to start the whole DLC, I guess. Geralt of Rivia, at the behest of our merciful sovereign, early grace, Henrietta, we have journeyed. Yes. Did we already read this one? The Witcher, Geralt of Rivia, known as the White Wolf, wanted to serve as a guide. His potential employer guarantees an ample wage for his unusual contract. For more information, you should go to Count Beladil's temporary base in Camp Toussaint. Base camp in Toussaint. Note, we kindly... Okay, we already read this one. I'm just going quickly through them because we have a lot of reading to do. The Office of Internal Revenue hereby announces a limited live auction to be held regarding the sale of a piece. Yeah, we read that one already in a previous episode. The Great Beauclair Grand Tournament is Count Monier's supreme delight to announce a grand tournament of his organization. Yes, already read that one. To a Witcher or Witchers, the Beauclair's Cooper's Guild is seeking an individual or individuals willing to escort a merchant convoy through an area threatened by the Great White Terror. Already read that one. Love Letter, read that one. free the hair of its skin and must I already read the pate recipe. Here we go. These are the new entries. Journal of Research into Archispor's book. You see bestiary entry added. Nice. We can also, I think, scroll through the books over here. Yes. Right, but let's first read this one. Day 1. I've stumbled upon an extremely curious species, the venomous Archispore. So far I've managed to distinguish 3 of its varieties, distinguished by colors. Green the most common, yellow and finally black, which not only exhibit the most aggression but also show extraordinary ability to pollinate plants near instantaneously. Day 5. My research into Archispores continues. I think I've reached the point where observation is no longer enough to bring satisfying result. The species attacks mainly using a mandible located in the center of its flower, although when highly threatened it may also spit toxic fluid. I was also able to discover Archispores are particularly sensitive to fire, which may prove a useful piece of information regarding how to neutralize them if necessary. For sure. Day 6. I have made up my mind. Tomorrow I shall try to obtain a sample of the fluid. I've already begun preparations. Okay. Summons from Duchess Anna Henrietta, most honorable Geralt, slayer of monsters, and all evils nefarious which prey on the defenseless of this world. Whereas never have you been known to deny help to the innocent, nor leave widows and orphans to fates undeserved. Answer you now our present summons. Free us from the beast which floods our street with blood and sows panic in the hearts of rich and poor alike. Come to our aid, Witcher. Thus humbly beseeches you the star-crossed city's most gracious protectress, her illustrious highness Duchess Anna Henrietta. Come to our aid, witches. Thus humbly beseeches you the star-crossed city's... Alright, whatever. Deed to Corvo Bianco. We, Anna Henrietta, by the grace of the gods of Duchess of Toussaint, do hereby grant the Geralt of Rivia, crest of the bridge, the lands belonging to the estates of Corvo Bianco, together with all goods and chateau found thereon. Furthermore, Geralt of Rivia now becomes the owner of the estate and swears to see to its care and upkeep. He is to make it fertile and beautiful and shall enrich himself from the harvest that the land provides for his own glory and the glory of Toussaint. Let it be known to all and sundry that in our fair domain deeds of beauty shall never go unrewarded and the land shall never lie fallow. For both deeds and lands exist to bear good fruit. Deeds of beauty shall never go unrewarded and the land shall never lie fallow. Okay. Her illustrious grace Anna Henrietta. And like a mouse with the head of a hard cheese. Clue from the horn of a unicorn. And like a mouse with the head of a hard cheese. That was the clue that led us to the greenhouse. But and like a mouse, mouse, with the head of a hard cheese. Okay, I have no idea. Why do the exclamation marks don't go away? That's probably because they're quest items. Letter from Jennifer. My dear friend, I've been told you're on a jaunt to Toussaint. I do hope you don't overtax yourself during the wine festival. The effects of such exertion at your age can indeed prove most detrimental. I've come upon some information which might be of interest to you. While browsing through a colleague's book collection, I found mention of one of Professor Moreau of Beauclair's. Professor Moreau of Beauclair who conducted research into Witcher mutation. The details I've come to learn are rather vague in his laboratory's location remains a mystery, yet this journal should at least provide hints as to both. It is said he was laid to rest with it in his tomb. I enclosed a map I found in the tome I happened upon. Though less than completely legible, I trust it will prove useful nonetheless. Should you grow tired of sampling Beauclair's ladies' wines and other exquisite delicacies, this matter might prove a fruitful diversion. Investigated your letter, your friend Jennifer. Of course, she already, in the cutscene, she already communicated this verbally. But I thought just to read it, just in case it would be had some additional entries, which I don't think it did. Letter of safe conduct in the name of His Majesty's Radovid V, King of Redania. The bearer of the present document is entitled to the right of unfettered passage across all blockades on the Ponta River. This is from the main game. On hunting basilisk, a compendium. In our lands, that is to say in the fair duchy of Toussaint, the hunting of basilisks has a long and storied tradition, one reaching back to the dawn of our present history. Attesting to this is a note written by one Xenon of Tritium, a leather worker, in the year 1023. In it, one finds mention of a commission for a corset to be fastened from hide of that winged serpent called basilisk by some. See Vedetto Fiari manuscripts through the ages 1278. While lesser hides could come from beasts felled by age or hunger, the costliness and expense of this corset would have necessitated the skin of a basilisk taken in its prime, and therefore required a hunt. Without the engagement of a witcher or, as a last resort, a knight or a mercenary, such a hunt would have perforce meant the gruesome death of the foolhardy hunter. Yet those adept at the task, witchers chief among them, hunted basilisk and their cousins cockatrices, with great success, thinning their numbers till a mere handful remained. I think a basilisk is one of the monsters that you had to fight in the main game during a kind of tutorial section all the way at the beginning. It's like a flying hen. Kikimores threw some myths about the insidious insectoids. Observation has shown that Kikimores are the most organized and hierarchical of the post-conjunction insectoids. Their workers follow the orders of warriors. They are all subjects of the Queen, which seems to control the behavior of all members of the swarm, even though she remains hidden deep in the ground. Considering the small size of this species' cerebral ganglia, which function as a brain, one may hypothesize that Kikimores possess a sort of hive mind, making them similar to ants. The tenebrous wilderness of Kite Mirkvid in the northwestern region of the Duchy of Toussaint, past the Blesher River, there lies the forest of Kite Mirkvid, a druidic sanctuary which, as the result of treaties signed with the duchy's rulers, enjoys full autonomy in its internal affairs. Alright, the forest is one of the main reserves of the Beauclair oak, a significant component of the local cooperative industry. The forest is main reserves of the Beauclair oak. Okay, whatever. With ecological balance in mind and following agreements between the Coopers Guild and the Flaminica, the leaders of the circle, oak felling in the forest is currently subject to strict supervision. In 1267, when the Flaminica granted asylum to druids from Kaidu in Angren, fighting broke out within the sanctuary. The bandits who tried to escape justice in the forest were burned alive in wicker hags to set an example. Since then, the borders of Kait Mirkvid have been protected by strong magical barriers, and to be honest, I would not recommend visiting this region without an invitation from the Flaminica. From Petrin Falsan's Guide to Toussaint. Bestiary added Van Grot's amazing anti-flatter stratagem. Flatters are a vile and unsophisticated variety of a vampire. They are unable to run properly, cannot bear direct sunlight, and are generally none too wise. Some flatters hunt alone, whereas others prefer to attack in groups. Perhaps it is a matter of instinct. Having sensed blood, they assess the size of the victim and, if necessary, summon their kin. The only strong suit of these leeches is their ability to leap towards a potential victim. Fighting a flatter is no different than fighting any other kind of bloodsucker, apart from the obvious means such as garlic, buckthorn and sunlight. A hunter should stock up on silver. A lit torch may prove you helpful as well. Very handy. Tips like that. Last sentence. A torch. Natural born killer. A study of Garcanes. Garcanes are commonly described as lesser vampires. Do not be misled by this terminology. These were also lesser, right? Flatters are vile and unsophisticated variety of vampire. Right, Gargants are commonly described as lesser vampire. So we are dealing with unsophisticated, the flatters, and the lesser vampires, the Gargants, described as lesser vampires. Do not be misled by this terminology, however, for they are extremely dangerous and devious creatures which men stand no chance of defeating, even when greatly outnumbering the beasts. Gargants possess a highly developed sense of smell. Once they are on your track, you are as good as that. They have a special taste for adolescents and children, hence the belief that this vampire seeks out only virgins. There is a grain of truth in that, yet it is not a matter of sexual purity, but of the level of blood pollution. The younger and healthier the victim, the tastier a tidbit it makes for a Gargant. Forgotten species, the proto-flatter. If you take a flatter and magnify all of its primitive traits, you will get a proto-flatter. This beast, the flatter's distant ancestor, arrived here from a parallel sphere centuries past, yet, unlike the flatter, has remained untouched by any post-conjunction evolutionary processes. In our time, proto-flatters are extremely rare. The more suitable adapted flatters having taken over their niche in our biosphere. Proto-flatters are thus lesser vampires. Their massive white jaws constitute their main weapons, their sharp claws coming in close seconds. Similarly to their more developed cousins, proto-flatters rely on their instinct rather than intelligence and are quite sensitive to the scent of blood. All the usual means of fighting vampires, such as vampire oil, black blood and silver weapons, apply to them as well. Alright, black blood. I think that's some kind of concoction or something. No idea. On sound waves, bats and shalmars. Few know that sound is in fact not just a noise but a wave, just like the waves of a sea striking against the shore. And just like them, sound waves strike everything in their path, which causes them to break. This particular property of sound is used by some species of animals and monsters as they carry out a kind of terrain mapping using their sense of hearing. Bats, which produce a specific sound to conduct echolocation based on how this sounds waves bounce off potential obstacles, make for a good example of this. Curiously, shalmars, mighty though completely blind monsters, have developed a similar mechanism. They are able to locate their opponents by sensing the vibration of even the faintest sound wave. That's also a good tip. I think maybe if you simply stand still, Shalmar will not be able to hear you. And if you then maybe shoot a crossbow bolt against a wall or in the ground a bit distance away, it will actually be drawn to it. Gonna try that when the next Shalmar pops up. The wondrous world of insectoids, a supplement. Let it be known there exists no being more wondrous than the giant centipede. Verily I say unto you, blind is he who fails to see their evolutionary advantage over all other species. After all, is there another creature so perfectly adjusted to living under the ground as well as on top of it? Another being able to pelt through passages invisible to the naked eye and construct stunning subterranean cities? Verily I say unto you, let us bow before the divinity of 1,000 limbs before it is too late. Let us shelter behind the cheating thorax on which the swords of our enemies shall break. Let us bring nourishment for the great mandible. Let us devote ourselves to these wonderful giants, these titanic insectoids, these scolopendromorphs. Let us resemble Shalmars, their humble servants, who make it possible for this grand species to become even stronger and even greater. Our toil shall be rewarded, I promise this. Praise the great mandible. Lizards through the ages. For many years it was erroneously believed lizards were simply wyverns in their highest stage of development. One scholar, whose completion of an academic course of study must have been the result of no small miracle, heatedly defended this point of view in a scientific work whose title I shall mercifully withhold. His main line of reasoning was an absurd and completely off-the-mark parallel drawn between the development cycles of the lizard and Pyrrhus brassicae, also known as the cabbage butterfly. A slizzard, claimed the author, is nothing but a fully mature wyvern that has developed fire glands. Utter rubbish. Let it be known once and for all that Charles von Linné is a filthy fopdoodle and an uneducated knucklehead. A slizzard is not by any means the same beast as a wyvern. That's hard, good argumentation. Ithleen's prophecy. Behold, for nigh is the time of the sword and axe, the age of the woven blizzard. Nigh is the time of the white frost and white light, the time of madness and disdain. Tet Derireat, the final age. Deireat, the final age. The world shall perish amidst ice and be reborn with the new sun, reborn of the elder blood, of hence Ichire, of a planted seed, a seed that will not sprout but burst into flames. Est tuat esse, so shall it be. Watch for the signs, and I say unto you, what signs they shall be. First, the earth will run with blood of the Ain Saida, Said, the blood of the elves. Alright. The so-called giant centipedes, or my only comfort in exile. Dearly have I paid for my wrongs, being exiled from the beautiful deserts and steppes of Ophir to this hideous green country, where all the scents and flavors are so intense they make me sick. Fills my heart with sorrow and regret. My only comfort seems to be a small colony of Scolopendros, or more scientifically speaking, Scolopendromorphs, here referred to as giant centipedes, living in the vicinity of my hut. These wonderful creatures, the sight of which reminds me of home, have most likely chosen this area to settle in because of the presence of shalmars, whose droppings constitute the food of smaller animals, which in turn are consumed by Scolopendros. Sometimes I sneak up on them when they are feeding and admire their hooked limbs, mandibles so sturdy they seem made of iron, and chitinous thoraces shiny enough to let one to gaze upon one's reflection. Hellhounds, harbingers of the end. Some monsters are born out of necessity, not because they are cruel, but because they have to defend themselves. For them, it is hunt or be hunted. Others are simply a mistake of nature, beasts brought to life by an evolutionary hiccup, so to speak. Both these sorts of monsters were able to fight, but there are also monsters born of sin. Wherever there is cruelty and envy, wherever earth has been drenched in blood and rocks soaked in suffering, there the hellhounds have their home. And as cruelty spreads, so too shall these monsters. They are the reflection of us, and to defeat them would mean to defeat ourselves. All that's left is to wait until we are torn to shreds by hordes of these demonic dogs. That's a bit fatalistic. Alps, Brookside's dangerous cousins. In the course of my research into Brookside, I've stumbled upon certain inconsistencies that in no way correspond with what we already know about these dangerous vampires. My investigations have revealed that these seemingly erroneous accounts were in fact describing an Alp, not a Brookside. It's an extraordinary discovery, a true milestone in the classification of these monsters. Even though legend tells of these vampires turning into pitch black hounds or venomous toads. Personally, I do not believe an Alp is capable of such polymorphy. However, it's almost certain that similarly to a Bruxa, an Alp may transform itself into a beautiful woman. This ability allows the species to blend seamlessly into crowds. To think that it may have passed such a monster completely unawares, is fascinating. One of the fundamental differences between Alps and Brookside is their fighting style, when in the form of a vampire. Alps also possess the ability to turn into fog, which allows them to move noiselessly and attack by surprise. Most likely this is the roots of the name common folks have given them, fleetlings. And the last one, Catacombs, a monograph. Before we sink our teeth, so to speak, into our analysis of the Kataka, the creature to whom the present work is dedicated, by way of introduction, let me present to our less experienced readers what exactly vampires are and what they are not. To our great displeasure, a great many myths concerning these creatures have arisen over the years, and the popular tales about them have served only to make popular superstitions and falsehoods. In the common folk's imagination, vampires are dead men and women arisen from their graves, wraiths driven by unquenchable thirst for warm blood. Yet nothing could be further from the truth. These creatures first came to be on another world, arrived in ours centuries ago, and have since learned to live among men and have evolved at our sides. The widespread belief that vampires must drink human blood in order to survive is flat out wrong, though they do in fact often partake of our vital fluid, for human blood affects their physiology as alcohol does ours. A vampire's bite does not turn its victim into a vampire, a state of affairs which would in fact be counter to logic, for it would mean the world would soon fill with vampires as they multiply at an exponential rate. Running water presents no barrier to vampires, not even if it's cold, for vampires are immune to the forces of both heat and cold. Now, for the most important matter, vampires have learned to live in the light of our sun, which is not harmful to them in the least, though they absolutely never shimmer or glisten when struck with the sun's rays. Though they absolutely... Why is that though? That seems to indicate an opposite. Now, for the most important matter, vampires have learned to live in the light of our sun, which is not harmful to them in the least, though they have absolutely never shimmer or glisten. Though they absolutely never shimmer or glisten when struck with the sun rays. I don't really understand that sentence building. The first part says they have learned to live in the sun. The second part says that's okay for them. And then the third part also says, yeah, they're unfazed by the sun's rays. But why then is there a though in there? Yeah, I'm not natively English speaking, as you obviously would have heard. So probably I'm just gleaning over something that is totally correct. And I'm just being stupid. Anyways, we read all the books and we have all the bestiary entries. Sorry, it was way longer than I expected. But it's good, it's a deep playthrough, so we have to get through it. Letter from Jennifer we read, Safe Contact we read, Old Map of Toussaint. Let's see that one. Cool. Doesn't really... Yeah, I cannot make out much of it. I don't see a cross or anything. But this is for that, I think, the map of Jennifer for Professor Moreau, I'd say. And we have T to Corvo Bianco. Very nice. We know new bestiary entries. We know our the armor rates, or however you call it. The armor... yeah, not settings, but numberings. How do you say it? The armor... Here, for instance, now the HUD doesn't display anything. You only hear that upgrade or that notification sound. But when, not too long ago, those diagrams did pop up in the HUD. It's a bit weird. Anyways, I'm looking for the word the armor settings, not settings, but how do you call it? Like the armor levels, I guess it's simply. Yeah. So we know that the armor that we got from the game itself, which I think is simply this, and but the trouser that we found is actually not really that much stronger than the one that we got from the game itself, which is this one. So we read the books, we have some insight into the armors. The only thing I'd like to still know is the levels of armor, the hierarchy. You have like magic items, you have like master items. I will quickly Google it. And besides that, we also obtained all the diagrams for like the rune stones and the glyphs. So it's more or less a development episode this, and also a bit of graphical testing in between. But one moment, I will do Witcher 3, Master, Magic, Common, and see what the hierarchy is. Oh, we also have Relic. That is also like an armor type. It's so annoying. On Steam, I always get this notification like, oh, are you sure you want to enter? Blah, blah, blah. Alright, here somebody says Relic, Master, Magic, Common. That doesn't mean that Master is always stronger than Common though, but more rare. So it's only supposed to indicate quality or rarity. Relics are meant to be special in some way, whereas Common or Master quality rarity items have less specialness. When it really comes down to it though, I think some of the white and blue gear have randomly generated stats for their level, which can mean that it becomes much more powerful than relics are when your level is much higher than the best relics. Relic top tier. So we have Relic, Master, Magic. So Magic, Relic, Master, Magic. So Magic is yellow, Master is blue, and Common is gray. So gray, yellow, blue. Common, Magic, Master, Relic. We don't have a relic item yet. Alright, so we have that settled. And let's save the game just to be sure. And let's find the armorer to see what he has for sale. Is this the armorer? Sure looks like it.
Come on, come here.
Or is this the sword, the smith? I don't see any. Blacksmith, I don't see any symbol here. Hand fiber. Maybe that's hand fiber. The armorer is over there and the blacksmith is besides him. But let's check out, is this hand fiber?
Huh?
No, cannot interact with him. Hand fiber had like this herb icon, so I guess he is a herbalist. What's this? Palmerin, Thais, Anseis, Donimir, Rainfarn, Horn, Guy, Genius, Delwyn. Alright. It's actually cool. They actually made like this whole alphabet or this whole scripture for the world. Very cool. That mural.
A smashing place we have, eh? Wine by the barrel, peace and quiet, lovely views. Hey.
Alright. Where the hell is the armorer? Is that an armorer? No, I don't think so.
The colors I would see on the Duchy's banners?
Eat, drink, and listen your rules.
Maybe he's over here?
You are into
No, this is the toy store. Really cool. That they think of stuff like that for the children. This is a barrel store. Probably a wine
little strokes,
vendor
great oaks.
Or a drink vendor. This is the signposts. We even have a hairdresser. But I actually find Geralt's classical look suits him fine. Beautiful lighting. Still a bummer that we don't have HDR, but whatever. Cannot have it all. I actually would like to get to that dude with the herbalist. Let's check it out. He should be... Oh, that's Wolfsbane. That's actually not a dude. It's a plant. That is supposed to be somewhere over here. I guess. That I can pick. It should be Wolfsbane. And then, does it disappear on the map? No, there's even more Wolfsbane. Why would a plant have its own map icon? I find that a bit unnecessary. Let's see if it's gone now. No, it's still there. Puffball.
So, Witcher, are you the one the Duchess has summoned to help?
Maybe it's handy if you, for a quest, are required to gather certain ingredients. But now I'm getting to my obsessive compulsive nature. Now I want to find that puffball as well. So let's see where it is. To the left. Should be somewhere around there. But I don't really see it. Maybe it's in this building. Ah, maybe it's this. No, it was Verbana. But I'm also clearing out the environment from beautiful plants. That was also an issue in Skyrim, eh? That if you could gather plants, but they wouldn't respawn in game, which was a bummer. One sec. There, I have a guy on the courier at the door. Alright, back in game. I think I was mentioning that in Skyrim, indeed, the flora didn't grow back, which made me not pick up any flora because there weren't that many flowers, and they were beautiful for like a cool atmosphere. Holy shit, the guy doing push-ups in the middle of the street. So if you pick them all up, it would look way more barren. But I hope that Witcher isn't plagued by such a bug, and even if it was, there are way more flowers in this game, so a couple of plucked plants do not have such a big influence on the world. Alright, but anyway, here, another poster. Man, a lot of posters. Arrest warrants. Lord, son of Mark, alias half-breeds. Okay. Anyways, where was that last plant? Or, now it's gone. So I did pick it up apparently. Let's get to the armor. He is over here. And I guess this is the swordsmith, and this is the armorer, I'd say. It's armorer, and where is the... there's the blacksmith. That's the word I was looking for. Anyways, this episode, it was quite, it's already pretty long, so I'm gonna split it up. This is part 3. I will continue in part 4. It was already quite long, and I do think for the average viewer a pretty boring episode. I was messing about with the graphical settings. I was reading a lot of books. I was checking inventory stuff with the rune stones and the diagrams of the glyphs and the rune stones. So actually didn't get that much further ahead in the game, but I do feel I am getting more and more grounded into the world again. It was a really long time since I played Witcher for the last time, and I'm more and more getting into grips with the world and the intricacies and the details and the specifics of the inventory and the upgrade paths and the tiers of armor, like the common and the magical and the master and the relic item type. So it are all small things, but they all really are. It's an experience like this is the sum of its parts, and you do need all those parts to have like the best or the deepest possible experience. So hence it is sometimes quite unavoidable to have like in between brackets, or how do you say it, like so-called boring episodes. But hope you don't mind, and you can of course always, if it becomes too boring, just skip ahead a bit in the video, and then hopefully some more action and story-driven sections will be there. There should be, I suppose, because otherwise I will never progress any further in the game, and that is the ultimate goal, to get through the whole DLC, the primary quest and all the side quests. So there should be also some action pieces in there, and I hope to continue with those in the next episode. Regardless of my bambling and testing stuff out and reading, I hope you still somewhat enjoyed it. If not, my apologies. Hope I will provide better content in the next episodes. Hope to see you there in those next episodes. For the meantime, guys, do not ever forget yourself. Always keep on gaming. See you later.